Right, genuine question. What can I do to improve my face? Because I actually do think I'm a bit clapped. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, I just feel so clapped, honestly.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's just not even fun anymore. I've had my lips done, but it's just not giving. The face isn't giving, and I just don't know what more I can do. I'm getting jawline slimming on Monday, and I'm getting Botox in my eyebrows. What more can I do at this point? I've paid for everything. I've paid for cheeks, paid for chin. I might as well get a nose job at this point. I just hate feeling ugly.
You're a damn terrorist. All right, just get the hell out of here. I got a goddamn
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. You know guys, there is one gender, I won't mention which one, but this gender calls the other gender insecure all the time. Yet if you ask me, the accusing gender is actually the one which is insecure. But totally unrelated, let's talk about this one right here. She's way insecure about her looks. And look man, if you have more plastic on your face than Darth Vader, I just think that it's unappealing for men, right? Some men do like it, but most men just, it's an absolute no. And look, one tip, right? If you don't want to be in this position, oh guys, tell me what to do, I'll tell you what to do. Build a character, have personality, have a soul, you know, have something that people want to stick with you for, not just your looks. Looks can only grant you the one-night stands. These women that go around thinking that they're so attractive and they're so desired. No, you're desired for a one-night stand. You're not desired for anything else, right? So build a personality and a man will want to stick with you for his whole life. Looks will only get you so far, but this woman has obviously made her choice. Ampu is just laughing about her. Really disrespectful, Ampu. This is nothing to laugh about, alright? This woman is suffering, Ampu. And you're over here laughing. Have some shame. But now, guys, we have a female on screen standing next to a man. We have a woman, guys. We're gonna analyze women. We're gonna analyze how they think, how they behave, why they do the things. The XX chromosome will be the point of discussion for today's video. So let's get started.
Biggest regret in Napa?
Shagging some guy last night.
Out of 10?
6.
We were having sex and he had a bottle of vodka behind his bed, and as we were having sex I accidentally smashed this whole new bottle of vodka, and the sex was a bit shit so I got a bit bored.
Emily, what was your biggest regret in Napa?
Not bringing enough knickers. Getting with the worker. I licked a guy's ass.
And this is what transpires at clubs, alright? Something I don't hear from other Red Pill channels or Manosphere channels enough is that clubs are just a crap hole. This is so big of a red flag. Every time a woman mentions that she goes out clubbing or she likes clubs, just immediate red flag, guys. I cannot stress how big of a red flag that is. For whatever reason. Like, this is what goes in clubs. Women go there, they have S3X, like they're some cheap street worker. They go there for the attention and validation, to get free drinks, to get 30 men thirsty for them, to show their bodies. Everything is superficial. It's the cheapest crap they can do. They go dressed there like they're street workers. Just everything about clubs is horrible. They're filled with intoxicated people and people, you know, using substances. There's no free pass for this, alright? The only gray flag about people who go to clubs are the people who unironically go for, you know, just to dance with their friends. Now, most women will tell you that that's what they're there for, but they're not there for that, alright? Like 95% of women go to clubs just for the attention, just for the validation. But even if you know, or 100% certain that a woman is there just to dance with her friends, I mean, I get it. There's nothing wrong about that. But still, why would you go to a place where you know that the rest of the people there, 95% of them, are there to get intoxicated and sleep around, right? I just don't get it. Can't you find something better to do? Can't you find another way to have a good time than being in those places? Oh, but I'm not there for that. Yeah, but you are there surrounded by that. You know what I mean? Like in your city, wherever you guys live, or in a village, there is always a few places that everybody knows because junkies go there, all right? And nobody goes there. It doesn't matter if it's the best spot in the park. It doesn't matter if it's a place close to a river, has a nice view, whatever. Doesn't matter. Nobody goes there because everybody knows that that is the place where junkies go to pump things into their veins. And nobody wants to deal with that. Nobody wants to look for trouble. So only junkies go to those places. You don't hear people saying, well, I know that all the junkies go there to get intoxicated and do bad things, but I just enjoy the view of the place. I like the bench, in that park. No, nobody does that. Nobody visits those places, all right? It's the same with clubs. Like, even if you're not there to do the immoral, pathetic things, if you know the kind of people that go there, why do you go there? It's so interesting that you've probably never seen your grandmother 20 years into her marriage go into clubs at 4 a.m. all right? You've never seen that. Think about why. Well, maybe because women in the past had way more self-respect and dignity than women today. It's just so immoral and not traditional to go to clubs, the type of clubs we have nowadays.
About a year and a half ago, I got fired because I had a spicy side. So this was a new job as a marketing manager at a shopping centre. I was on day 5 of the role, and I'd literally called my best friend the day before and was like crying about how much I hated the job and how much I just wanted to do spicy work full time. And he was like, no, like you can't do that. There's too much like inconsistency. What if you like fail and then, blah, 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 and like sort of talked me out of it. And I was like, oh my God, okay, true. And like kind of stressed me out. And I was like, all right, okay, fine. Like I'll just keep going with this job that I hate. And then the next day I came into the office and I sat down and I had an email from my like boss's boss, and it was basically asking me if I had any side businesses. And I had a weird feeling when I got the email, like I had a bit of an idea that maybe someone had told them, and I actually think it might have been my previous workplace. But anyway, I responded being like, no, like, because also at the time it was a side hustle for me. Like it was not full-time work. I wasn't registered for GST, tax, anything like that, because it was,
Guys, there's no work, all right? Sorry to cut it off here, but there's no work. Even if it's full-time, this is not work. Taking a picture of your bare behind is not work. Professional institution, at least that's some work. Like you have to, go outside, you have to be on the street, you have to do physical labor. At least that's work, right? But taking a picture of your melons is not work. Even if you get paid for it, it's not work, right? Jeez. And also notice how the previous job, she says maybe my previous job notified this job. Yeah, it's almost as if doing spicy content reflects upon your dignity as a human being, and upon your the respect that you may earn from people or the way you may lose it, right? Sorry, I'm a bit lost for words, but you get what I mean. It impacts your life, it impacts your reputation, is what I mean to say. And think a bit about this way. If it impacts your work, do you think that it will impact your relationships as well? Maybe, huh? Have you thought about that? Have you thought that maybe posting pics of your melons will prevent you from finding a husband? No, guys, these women never care. These women never think long term. They only think about themselves.
Purely a side hustle. I didn't think of it as business. So she asked me if it was business. I said no. I used to have a swimwear business, but I don't do that anymore. There's no conflicts of interest here, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, then I didn't hear anything for like a few hours, and I have endometriosis, and I didn't know that at the time, but I was really, really sick that day, and I was on my period, and it was unbearable, essentially. So I had to go home, and I went home, and I honestly think that was the universe's way of protecting me from having to deal with the confrontation in person. Because the second I got home, I got this text message from my boss being like, we'll be picking up your work phone. And I was like, what? My work phone's at the office. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, check your email. So I checked my email, and it was in my junk mail. This huge email, 4 reasons why I'd been fired. And yeah, with it was like screenshots of my spicy site on this email, which by the way is illegal. And they gave me the option to like explain myself and like give a good enough reason, and you know, maybe I could keep my job.
No, there's not good enough reason. Why did you do it? Oh, because I'm a 304. Because I don't want to work a real job. Notice how she got a real job and she didn't even like it? Of course she doesn't. Because she wants to do the least amount of effort and profit because of her attractiveness. And then these women go around and want to be special and want to be viewed as something more than an object. But you literally are an object. Like, this is what you're marketing yourself for. It's the same as the first woman, investing all her money, all her efforts, all her mindset on looks. And then Pikachu shocked, right? Because, oh, men only view me for my body. Well, that's what you're showing to the world, right? So many years, guys. So many years of female empowerment, and we want to do our own stuff. We want to work. We want to pay taxes. We want to be independent. We want to be equal to men. We want to do this and that. And what are the results? That the vast majority of women have S3 actualized themselves, and they are selling their bodies for $3.99 on OnlyFans. Is that all that comes from your independence? I mean, again, you fought so hard for independence. We want to be independent. We want to create our future. And then the future that you create is this, that there's more street workers now than ever before. And women are selling their bodies for $3 a month to millions of strangers. Wow, so modern and independent. You go, queens.
Literally did not give a fuck. Like, they set a meeting, I never responded to it. I just completely let it go. Like, I actually couldn't have cared less. At first I was really shocked and upset just because I felt like I'd been discriminated against more than anything. But then I was like, this is what I wanted. I was literally going to quit yesterday, and then this has happened. Like, this is my sign from the universe that I'm meant to go full time with the spicy work. And it is the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, mentally, physically, financially, I've never been happy, and I'm so grateful that that happened to me.
I'm just thinking, I'm so sorry for this girl's father. There's some father out there, and this is his daughter. So sad and pathetic. Yeah, be on the wave, be empowered and independent and happy and all that. We'll see how that goes when you turn 30, all right? When you cannot capitalize on your physique anymore, and the simps that now supposedly care for you are no longer there because they have more attractive professional attitudes on OnlyFans. We'll see how that goes then, all right? Like, we'll probably see you begging on your knees for a spot at McDonald's, right? So hey, good luck with that.
I was very much a fool in most of my decisions.
Even with all the success that you've had, you're an incredible mother now, businesswoman, you're working with Playboy, you still look back on that and you still feel ashamed?
Yeah, I don't like the fact that people can see me naked on the internet or can see those things happening to me.
She finishes with, I think that's gross. And what was the name of this woman, guys? I'm sure you know her, you've heard about her. She's a porn actress. She got on the news. She made some NFT clown. She made clowns of all her fans with NFTs. She had a son, like absolute chaos of a life. I cannot remember her name right, but you get the point. She's a porn actress, well, ex-porn actress, and she says she regrets it because, well, everybody can see her on the internet, right? I just want to mention that the type of women that are willing to sell their bodies like this always come from the same places. If you look at porn actresses at the industry, I mean, don't get me started with the fact that a lot of them pass away either because of OD, either because they are engaged in some, shady stuff or whatever, or because of, willingly unaliving themselves. I have to play around words here, but you get the point. like a lot of these corn actresses and street workers, they come from a place where they have a really bad mental the mental well-being is not there, you know what I mean? So it's like this previous woman that we covered, you see her on screen and you don't know her past, you don't know her life, you don't know if she has a father around, but the only thing you know is that she's not in a good place in life. All right, any woman that does this spicy content is just not okay in the head. And I'm not making this up. All right, you can check what big amount of these women come from the same place, and that place is substances and drink use and family use and a lot of things like this. All right, it just speaks about your mind. If you're a woman that's willing to do this, you need help. And the same goes in a different crap, guys, I cannot speak today. The same goes for women who have large body counts. Now, it's not as extreme as getting to do spicy content for literally the whole world, but it's the same. Women with high body counts don't have a nice mentality. They don't feel well in life. Their lives oftentimes are not ordered. They're absolutely chaotic. A lot of the times they don't have fathers. They don't have boundaries. You know, these women that are just S3 actual deprivation is always due to the same few bad reasons. You know, the women who have a good mental health, they're not out there going to clubs, sleeping around with everybody, or making spicy content, is what I'm willing to say. So, sorry for my my English today. Now let's continue, guys.
All right, time to be really honest.
All right, for the gents not watching, this woman is basically asked why she was being road dogged during her street working period of her life. So let's check her answer.
I was really naive when I started out on adult work, and I offered BB for, an extra £300-400. I didn't actually think that anybody would pay for it, but as soon as I offered that, my profile was screenshotted. I was blacklisted on UK punting, and so I also didn't know that. So for 6 months, I had clients coming to me who would take it whether I gave it to them or not, because they knew that this was something that I offered, and if I wasn't going to submit to it in the moment, they were going to have it anyway. I could also totally be bribed with money. Like, money was more important to me than potentially catching something really deadly. How crazy is that?
Well, guys, make of this video what you will. I think that when you start looking at the patterns, when you start thinking about these women's psychological states, you can see the picture pretty clear. Just all women, as I mentioned, involved in spicy content, whether that be online or in real life. All women that go to clubs and sleep around and don't use protection, don't care about their future. They all have a mental state that sucks. And it's one of the main reasons why we men, we just don't want to deal with these women, right? It's no coincidence, guys, that like over 90% of men care about a woman's past. It's no coincidence. It's not something that, oh, well, you see, what a coincidence. Just men from all around the world feel the same way about this. It's because it's, linked with mental state. It's linked with future plans. It's linked with a person's mental state and well-being and all that. There's so many things. I did a poll some time ago about what was the biggest red flag in women, and I cited one of the best possible red flags, but people almost unanimously voted for a big body count. It's no coincidence, guys, I tell you what. But leave me your thoughts down below as to why this is a massive red flag, and I'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one.